It was such a fun class. Michelle was a really good teacher. It wasn't full-on schoolwork. It was a lot of play and a good balance of kind of work.
She had some pretty amazing skills to work with children as young as 5.
She was just awesome, and she can make stuff fun as well.
She always made you feel like you fit in.
Playing.
It's really fun, I'm listening to the music and I'm dancing along with it.
I like learning because it's fun.
He is a fun and helpful teacher.
We like you, Michelle!
I've been a teacher for over 20 years. It's my passion. It's what I love to do. Kids excite me. Kids in the area of kids is where I feel creative.
Raph, can you count in something else?
100.
Can you count in the hundreds? Go.
100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000.
1,000. Do you remember that big number? Can you say it? Go. 1,000.
I guess, particularly in the last couple of years, the challenges for me are the government decisions that are made that negatively impact teaching in the actual practice of teaching. So, for instance, recently with the changes in the Australian curriculum, there's been a lot of pressure on teachers, and a lot of my fellow early years workers have foregone great practice in active learning with children in play, and swap that for much more formalised learning, which better suits older children in my thinking. It breaks my heart to think of many of the early years kids sitting at desks now doing worksheets for extended periods of time instead of learning hands-on and being busy, and they're only 4 and 5.
I'm walking through the land. I'm picking up the rubbish and saving things from harm. I'm fighting for our world, the things we love the best. 'Cause if you don't and I don't, our world will be a mess. So pick up your rubbish, place it in the bin, put things back where you found them, make animals your friends. Then the world will thank you. You tried to do your best.
I think it's easy to judge, and if you read newspapers and talk to a lot of people, there's a lot of criticism of teaching, and that's a sad thing, because I think there's a lot of great teachers in Australia that are doing their best for children in the circumstances they're given. Could it be better? Yeah. There's also a lot of grateful parents that are so excited that you're putting time into their children and making extra effort above and beyond what your role is.
There's a lot of discussion at the moment about training. Do you think we need to improve some of the training for teachers?
For sure. I think to teach teachers to be great people, to be great thinkers, to be creative, to be diverse, to be curriculum designers, not just curriculum deliverers. To give them a passion for the art of teaching, not just the delivery of instruction, would definitely empower teachers to be great teachers.
Every day is exciting. Every day is a new adventure. With Michelle, it's not about just teaching the kids. It's about the whole experience. It's about the whole child and making them feel comfortable, making every day exciting and new for them, and a new adventure every time. Every time we enter the classroom, it's something new.
A really important thing for us was Fraser joined our family in the beginning of the year in February, and then he came to preschool in Easter. So it was very much a really challenging experience for Fraser and for the whole family, and for Fraser to be coming here with Michelle and not having very much language at all, and the way she included him and helped him manage some of those really difficult emotions, and also helping all the other children being able to relate to each other well and deal with differences, and yeah, it was great.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Michelle.
Morning, Amanda.
Good morning, Amanda.
Family Jane.
great day?
Even though the curriculum's, changed over the years and there's more emphasis on what the preps have to learn, I just love the way Michelle has staunchly held on to the importance of play in her daily prep life.
I would probably say that I learnt a lot more when I was able to use different methods and use play, and especially at a younger age, but that then encouraged me to think differently and think outside the box and come up with different strategies on how to solve problems, as opposed to just the traditional, it must be done this way.
Well, she's an awesome teacher. Yeah, she's great. You've got a lot of freedom to just sort of play around.
The singing was really good all the time because we used to learn new things while we used to sing.
My island home, my island home, my island home is waiting for me. My island home, my island home, my island home is waiting for me.
I think an Australian education system that trusts its teachers, that puts the belief back in the teacher as a professional, that gives them a license to create curriculum, to give them the basics, but then let them flow with that. So there's great teaching for individuals in the situation they're in, not a one system fits all approach. I think most of great teacher training is learnt on the ground. You don't learn behaviour management from a textbook. You've really got to be in the experience, learning what kids can throw at you and then how to respond to that respectfully and work with those children to bring out the best in the children. You never get that from a textbook. I think there's some really great people in universities training teachers. My concern is that when the student gets out into the workforce, that's not necessarily matched with what's happening in practice. That can often be a constraint of government decisions. So they're limited with what they can do once they get to practice. Are you ready to sing it now in twos? 1, 2, 3. I love to skip out now and then, jump a number then jump again. I skip right past the numbers I know that are hiding under the rainbow. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Teaching is a gift. It's a privilege to share the pathway of life with a child for a while. Get to know that child. Who is that child? What are their likes? How do they think? What can they tell you about themselves and how you can learn beside and with them? My aspect of teaching that I would love to change is time. I'd love to give the kids time to create, time to be, time to learn, time to talk, time to grow without rush. I think at this stage of the Australian education climate, the children are doing things younger and much more of it than ever before. If we look at other countries, Finland has the best results in the world, and yet their children don't start formal education until they're 7. Why are we in such a rush to make children into mini adults? Let them be kids, let them have a great childhood. My favourite quote by David Sabel says, "The more slowly trees grow at first, the sounder they are at the core." Childhood only lasts for 12 short years. Let it be the best childhood they can have, and then they'll be great adults.
I like Michelle because she's a good teacher and she teaches me very good things. I like Michelle because she's very kind and she teaches us a lot of maths and a lot of words. I like Michelle because she's a really nice teacher and she's good teaching. I like Michelle because she's playful.
Put a smile